Hello guys, and this is 13-year-old's opinion. This is my first video, and it is going to be over the UNC Charlotte shooting. I'm going to be reading the New York Times article, and it says UNC Charlotte shooting leaves 2 dead and 4 wounded. Let's continue reading. 2 people were fatally shot and at least 4 others injured at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte on Tuesday. The last day of classes, the authorities said. So, last day of classes, I guess? I don't know. Not really too familiar with college. The UNC Police Department says that 3 people were in critical condition and that a 4th had non-life-threatening injuries. So they got one in custody, and do not believe that there are any other gunmen involved. The campus Office of Emergency Management reported that shots were fired near the Kennedy Building, an administrative building in the middle of campus. Katie Ballard, 24, she's 24 years old, a graduate student in gerontology, I'm really sorry for saying that wrong, was sitting in a classroom in a nearby building when her professor stepped out. The professor came back in and said she heard someone had been shot. Then an alert popped up on a projector screen in the front of the class saying that gunshots had been fired close by. Run, hide, fight, the alert said. Secure yourself immediately. Miss Ballard ran with about 30 other students to an empty room nearby and locked the doors. You have to understand how scary it is just in class one day and seeing that someone's shooting up the school. That has to be terrifying. Today is April the 30th, 2019, so you know. Miss Ballard never heard any gunshots, but she heard helicopters buzzing while locked in the room. She heard students running up and down the halls. Through the window, she saw a man who had been shot in the abdomen. A handful of paramedics crouched around him, tending to his wounds. It was so surreal, Miss Ballard said. I just felt all the blood leave my face. I felt there's no way this is real. And I understand that. That has to be a terrible feeling, knowing that someone that you have seen walking around campus to your classes or whatever, and seeing someone, and maybe they're talking with their friends, laughing with their friends. What if they're getting a degree in Scientology or something like that, and they could be the person to cure cancer, but yet now you know that that person could be dead because of someone who had, which I don't think it says yet, but someone who has either been through depression, got really mad, might even have been a dare, but just because this act happened. Eventually, she said, the police came and knocked on the door, and we were all escorted out with our hands above our head. Some people get confused about this. Why is their hand over their head? It's a very simple answer. Their hands are over the head because they don't know who the shooter is. The shooter is 99% of the time a student. So they don't know if the person ran in there with them and pretending to be a student but was actually the shooter and they just wanted to get away. That's why they keep their hands up. I mean, police don't want to get shot, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. There was video posted on Twitter. We are all in shock to learn of an active shooter situation on the campus of UNC Charlotte, the mayor of Charlotte said in a tweet. My thoughts are with the families of those who lost their lives, those injured, the entire UNCC community, and the courageous first responders who sprang into action to help others. it was the final day of classes for the school year, and graduation ceremonies are scheduled for early May. Wow. Think of that, guys. These students were about to graduate. That is, like, terrible. They've been through who knows how many years. If they're getting a bachelor's, 4 years, I think. But, like, man. Okay, let me read this to you. The episode was one more in a series of deadly shootings that have made headlines across the United States. It happened 3 days after a gunman opened fire at a synagogue in Poway, California, killing a congregant there, and came on the heels of anniversaries of other deadly school shootings. It has been a little more than 1 year since 17 people were killed in Parkland, Florida, and 2 decades since the Columbine shooting. Guys, I got this article from the New York Times, as I said in the beginning. This is very sad coming from a student's perspective. I'm in school sometimes, and school's boring, and I daydream. And sometimes when I'm daydreaming, what I think of is, what if one of these happens to this school? What if I'm in class one day and I hear that alarm go off? And what if we don't know if it's a fake or not? And what if me and my friends are talking and laughing? And what if that could be what causes my friends to die? Like, I've thought about this. This is something that actually goes through my brain, and is scary and is terrifying. To think that someone that could be your friend, someone you know, someone you care, someone you love, someone you don't even know about, but has potential in life to fulfill what the life that God has gave them, and yet they can't fulfill that because this person took that away from them. This is very sad, guys, and every time I see a shooting, it almost makes me want to tear up, because these are people who had a career ahead of them. Sorry, school shootings, or I mean almost any shootings in general. But there ain't too much. I heard that he was a man, no idea how old. There ain't too much more information on here. That's it, guys. I'm going to be trying to find more news to talk about. This is 13-year-old's opinion. This is my first video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell, and make sure that it says all notifications, you know, because they changed it up. But I created this channel. Let me just go ahead and tell you this real quick. I created this channel so everyone else in the world can see a kid's view of the world. Adults see things differently than kids. That is a scientifically proven fact. Kids see things more playfully. Some kids see things more dark. It all depends, but really, that's my opinion, guys. I just feel like there's a lot of potential of these kids, and they're gone, and it's not fair to them. But alright, guys, this is 13-year-old's opinion. Peace.